I'm Evan Thomason for This Week in Santa Clarita. Right now I am joined with Ian Perry, Senior Traffic Engineer for the City of Santa Clarita. And Ian, we are standing where we stood about a year ago near Meadows Elementary School at the site of a Safe Routes to Schools program.
Correct. And last summer we were constructing what we call a bulb out, which you can see completed behind us, which is one of the key features that we've been installing at a number of schools as part of the Safe Routes to School program.
And talk briefly about the Safe Routes to Schools program to catch everybody up on that. Now, it's part of our non-motorized plan. We've been doing it for years. And what is the program all about?
The Safe Routes to School program is a state and federally funded grant program that cities and counties can apply for to get money to do improvements around schools, elementary schools in particular, to make the environment more conducive to walking and biking. The goal being to get more kids out of their parents' vehicles and walking and biking to school.
So the city will identify, they go after the funds. Once they've received the funds or are eligible for the funds, then they identify the needs throughout the community.
Right. We've applied 4 years in a row, 3 schools each time for a total of 12 to date. This year we're applying for 3 more for a total of 15. And what you said is correct. After we identify the schools, we contact the districts, get their okay, and then meet with the schools themselves, their staff, the principal, and interested parents, and actually walk around the school doing what's called a walk audit and identifying for each particular school exactly what their needs are in terms of getting more kids walking and biking.
And certainly the school administrators are the experts when it comes to that. So we work very closely with them, and project to project depends on the school and what their needs are.
Right. It's definitely not a cookie cutter approach. Each school is examined and the solutions are tailor-made to fit that particular school, whether it's adding sidewalks or removing bumps in sidewalks or adding bulb outs like you see behind us here, or changing signal timing, or there's a whole toolbox of improvements that we can pick from.
And last year we also visited a completed project at Newhall Elementary School that had a speed indicator sign.
Right, we call that a speed feedback sign, and it is basically an educational device to tell motorists how fast they're actually driving. It'll say the speed limit is 25 or whatever your speed is, and then we'll have a digital readout showing the motorist's current speed. And it's a good feedback device because a lot of motorists who are speeding, I will say, are speeding accidentally, in that they're not speeding on purpose, they're not being malicious about it or willful, they're just not paying attention.
Right.
So this is an instant feedback device. It tells them, oh, your speed is this, please slow down. The next 3 that we're going to be applying for this cycle are Valencia Valley, Valley View, and North Park. But because there's typically a 1 to 2 year lag between receiving the money and actually programming the schools for construction, those 3 schools, if we get selected, if we win this grant, and it would be the 5th time in a row, which would be fantastic, would probably be constructed in 2012.
Okay. I want to thank you for joining us today. Right now we are going to catch up with the principal of Meadows Elementary School, Chad Rose. Right now we're with Meadows Elementary School Principal Chad Rose. Chad, Meadows was involved with the Safe Routes to School program, the construction last year. Can you talk a little bit about the process, the first contact with the city, and kind of the progress to begin construction?
Sure. The city contacted the school site and interested in writing a grant for the program. They met with myself and our school leadership team as well as representatives from our school district about options for the school, and actually did a site walk, our surrounding streets as well as our school campus, and made some improvements based on my recommendations as well.
And the city contacted you and said, we've identified your school as a potential participant in this program. Tell us about, what are some of the improvements that you would like to see?
That's pretty much accurate, yeah. And we walked through, again, like this sidewalk we're standing on right now was an extension to our existing sidewalk that has increased safety. That was my recommendation. They were able to include it in the grant. We also walked to the corners of where most kids cross the street, and we have 2 sides to our school for arrival, so those areas really did help improve safety for arrival.
So where we're standing right now, and we can see the concrete and the sidewalk has been extended here, and the problem I imagined before was there's just too many kids that were clustered in a small amount of space next to traffic.
Yeah, we have a valet system where students arrive by car right on this adjacent street here, and then you had traffic of walkers going back and forth to the arrival gate to the school office, parents waiting for students, watching kids walk to lines, and it really was quite congested and a safety issue with the traffic right here. So it really has been wonderful, and parents have really talked about how much safer it feels and how they much appreciate what the city did for our school.
And that's great. And then Mill Valley is the main road that comes in to this residential neighborhood leading to Meadows. And before, they put the bulb outs, and you mentioned that people now can identify this as a school zone, so hopefully they're not zipping through here quite as fast.
Yeah, I think people have slowed down. You can see the bulb outs with the bright red curbs. It has increased safety of students crossing the street as well as car traffic, because they can really know what's coming around the corner now, and it's a little slower, and it's been much safer.
So have you noticed more children walking to school?
I believe so. Yeah, we did an informal survey of kids, and more kids have talked about walking to school and riding their bikes to school. And actually, families have said, "Can we ride our bikes to school with our kids who aren't quite age appropriate for riding to school yet?" And we're working on strategies for that as well because of all the safety improvements.
That's great. So overall, I would imagine you're pretty happy with what's going on here?
I'm thrilled, and I'm really appreciative to the city for including us in this and taking our thoughts and opinions and doing this. And it's really been a great service to our community for this.
All right, well, I want to thank you for joining us. For Safe Routes for Schools from Meadows Elementary School, I'm Evan Thomason.